Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. I hope all is well. I hope everybody's doing well. And I just wanted to come back on here today to stay consistent and continue to raise awareness in the community. And today is, well, as you see, I made it back from the great state of Alabama. Had a fantastic time there this weekend, and yeah, just had a fantastic time there this weekend, and looking forward to. Um, it was just good to be back home this weekend. A lot of great things happened this weekend, and wanted to jump on here today and just provide some feedback on the post I made this morning. And not only that, though, continue to just stay consistent with providing factual information, and raise awareness in the community. One of the things that I realized too is when we start talking about um, uh, when you're dealing with raising awareness, there has to be a commitment to being consistent, right? And not only that, though, not only the consistency of it, but being consistent with um, in how you present the information, being unemotional about it, approaching it in a logical perspective, in a logical way, and not only just that in a logical way, but also providing it information in a way that the people that you're providing it to can easily understand it. Is ways that a lot of people do things to try to make themselves seem more complex or more important than they are. At the end of the day, it's about, can people really understand it? And when you're advocating and you're raising awareness, one thing that you need to know, that you're gonna piss some people off, and some people are gonna be upset at you because it disrupts the status quo. And like I said yesterday on Dr. Martin Luther King, in celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday, I made a post yesterday, and that post was basically talking about how Martin Luther King was not viewed favorably by a lot of people until after he passed away. And he was looked at as an agitator. He was looked at as an outside agitator. A lot of people had a lot of ill things to speak about him because he challenged the status quo. And challenging the status quo would disrupt those who have a form of privilege or have a form of a perceived form of prestige. Now, I wanted to go, and the topic that I wanted to discuss today is about update on illegal gaming sites in Perry County. Right, and in a post I made this morning, and everybody can see it. I want to show everybody so people can see it. Here we go. In the post I made this morning, I made it 3 hours ago, and you see the title, Update on Illegal Gaming in Perry County and Surrounding Areas, right? And here we go. On January the 2nd, I made a post on Facebook, on my Facebook page, under the title, Is Illegal Gaming Happening in Perry County and Surrounding Areas, right? And I'm going to go to this post, and I'm going to click on it. Once I click on it, you see January the 2nd. Under that title, Is Illegal Gaming Happening in Perry County and Surrounding Areas? And in this post, as you see, I talked about, and I shared another post from the DA on August the 26th, 2025. Robert H. Turner Jr., the DA, the district attorney in Fourth Judicial Circuit of Alabama, posted a message on his Facebook page. And let's go to that message, because I'm going to go straight to it. This is from as y'all see, on August the 26th, 2025. Y'all see who page this is. This is Robert Turner Jr., District Attorney, 4th Judicial Circuit of Alabama. He made this post. And this post, it said, notice to business owners. Slot gaming machines are illegal in Alabama under Code of Alabama 13A-12-27, possession of a gambling device. Violator face fines of up to $6,000 and or up to 1 year in jail for a misdemeanor, and felony charges for repeated or aggravated offenses. Enforcement of this law is forthcoming in Bibb, Dallas, Hale, Perry, and Wilcox County. Business owners are urged to remove illegal machines immediately to avoid persecution. If they are legalized, then do your thing. Until then, We've said what we said, and you see it was signed by Robert H. Turner, District Attorney for Judicial Circuit. Now, I want everybody to see this, right? Y'all see it was shared 94 times. 94 times. So it was shared by a lot of people in the community when he made this back in August. So let's click out of that. And we going back to this post, right? And as y'all see here, I literally copied and pasted that exactly what he said right here, right? And that's the link to his page. Now, let's fast forward. And I said this. I said, after my post, people said that some places where illegal gambling was happening have now been shut down. One of those places even destroyed by a fire. People have also said there was an incident involving Perry County Commission Chairman Albert Fitzgerald Turner and a business owner at the Old Fred's building in Marion. This happened last week. Reported to happen last week. The report says that Chairman Turner came there with law enforcement. He came there with law enforcement. I believe it was the city police. After the business owner called him out, people said he quickly went around and removed his ATMs and gaming machines from other places. One of those places mentioned was Mike's store near CT South. People reported seeing Chairman Turner leaving another place on Highway 5, heading towards Brent, Alabama a few weeks ago, right after my post on January the 2nd. The report says the business owners were told to close for a few weeks so the community wouldn't be upset. That place has been closed since Chairman Turner's visit and is reportedly supposed to open again on today, January the 20th, 2026. Now, on January the 19th, 2026, a video was posted on social media showing the old Quickway in Marion on fire, with the fire department trying to put it out. Now, this was a picture right here of Mike's, as y'all see. This was from last week. It showed that it was closed, said it was empty. And this right here is the picture from the old Quickway from the video that was burning on the Sunday night going into Monday. For those, many people probably saw that picture. So if you don't know, this is right here, right on the same street with Marion Military Institute. It's a bank literally right here, the old swimming pool right here. And it's right there. If you pass through it right now, you can see they had the caution tape around it, the yellow caution tape around it. Right now, the question that I wanted to ask is, did people in the community know that Chairman Albert Fitzgerald Turner was allegedly putting ATMs and gaming machines in those places? Now, that's a question that I asked because many people have said that Albert had ATMs in there. And there's a lot of reports of people saying that he had ATM machines in those locations, in those illegal gaming locations. And multiple people have reported that. Multiple people said that he had those ATMs in there. Right? Is it illegal for, do I think it's illegal for elected officials to have like a business like ATM? I don't think that's illegal. I don't think that's illegal. I don't think that in that regards, I don't think nothing wrong with it. But to have it co-located in areas where there's illegal activity going on, that raises a lot of suspicion, especially from an elected official, especially the chairman of the Perry County Commission. But let's go on and ask those other questions, right? If the district attorney warned these places on August the 26th, 2025, why did it take so long for anything to happen? Right? Now, I'm not saying things didn't happen before, but it was reported that things started happening right after I made my post on January the 2nd. Is there a correlation between that? I'm not saying there's a correlation, but is it coincidental? It could possibly be coincidental. But if the district attorney gave a warning back in August 26, 2025, why didn't we see any action happen until January of 2026? You know, that's just a question. And that's a simple question where you sit down and you ask yourself. If you're doing that, you sit down and you ask yourself, right? I would tell people, just sit down and think about that. Just sit down and think about that. And last question I have in reference to that is, if Chairman Albert Fitzgerald Turner is allegedly involved with or in business with the illegal gaming location, how does this impact his claim to be a leader with vision and leadership and integrity? How? If you are allegedly involved with those illegal gaming locations, because if you got ATMs and you had ATMs, and then the other thing, then why would you scramble? It was reported that after the incident with that business owner, that he went and he had all of his ATMs and gaming machines removed. Why would you do that if it was done legally? Why? That's the question. Why? You know what I'm saying? Why? Like, I'm being honest with you. And I just hope people really see for themselves, right? Because, you know, people love to try to make things out of what it ain't instead of looking at it for what it is. I'm going to say that again. People love to try to make things out of what it ain't. I know that's incorrect. I'm going to use the correct English because my dad would be mad at me. People will try to make things of what it is not instead of looking at it and accepting it for what it is. Right. And the reason why I bring that up is these are all claims that Albert claimed, right? Claim that he's a leader with vision, leadership, and integrity. Do a person with integrity intentionally connect themselves with something that is allegedly illegal going on as an elected official? Okay, if you were doing right and if those machines was right, then why did you allegedly pull all those ATM and gaming machines out those locations last week? Why? You know, who did you get the law enforcement officer from? Who are those law enforcement officers that went down there with you? Matter of fact, what right do you have to go down there as the county commission with law enforcement officers? That's not even, you're not a law enforcement officer. And you've already been in trouble before for impersonating a law enforcement officer by pulling somebody over. You don't have that authority. You are a county commissioner. The only elected, there's two elected law enforcement personnel in the county. You have the sheriff and you have the district attorney. Right? That's what you have. Not a county commissioner is not a law enforcement officer. So if that was the case, then who authorized those law enforcement officers? Because I highly doubt that they came from the sheriff department. So if it came from the city, you know, I'm just curious to that, because this should have been spearheaded by the district attorney office. The district attorney office, the one that gave the warning, right? And he made that post because it was alleged that those locations was going on. You see what I'm saying? So like that, those are things that people, I really hope people sit down and think about, right? Because all of this stuff that's been going on, the same old, just like yesterday, I talked about it yesterday, the same old cry, the boy that cried wolf, and selling all these wolf tickets to people, playing on your emotions while these folks doing all this crazy stuff. Like they're doing all of this crazy stuff. Right? So that's what's going on. And that right there is something that I ask that the community, actually sit down and think, like, use your own sight. Like those who are going to respond emotionally, that's a personal thing, right? For those who try to make this something that is not, that's another personal thing. But when you sit down and say 2 + 2 and it's showing you 4, but you want to respond emotionally because you want it to be 5, I can't do anything about that. That's a personal issue with that, right? And the thing about it is, this just doesn't look right. It does not look right. If you're going to scramble, and it just so happened to be so funny that when somebody start asking questions, that's when people start moving on certain things, or certain things start happening. But then they say that people aren't important enough to make certain people move. And it's not, to me, it's not about that. My thing is, why should people have to openly hold you account for you to even attempt to do the right thing or try to cover up the allegedly wrong that you're doing? If you always stand on business, then phone call is stopped. But if you always stand on business, then you ain't got to you don't have to you ain't got to get ready. Like they said, if you always ready, you ain't got to get ready. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Travis said Albert Fitzgerald Turner got people down at the old National Guard Army trying to fix it up for the election. He got those absentee ballots in the storm shelter behind him. I would tell people this. I'm going to show you guys why Albert is doing that. Why he's so fixated on the why he is so fixated on the Barnett King Center, right? Yesterday it was just sickening to see him make comments talking about people want receipts and stuff like that. You know, that shows. I'm about to be honest, right? As an elected official who handling the money that belongs to the people of Perry County, you showing receipts should be the bare minimum of what you do all the time. The problem is you never show receipts. He had the audacity to say yesterday, in a way of trying to throw shade, but you're really showing your level of ignorance, right? You're showing your level of ignorance when you say this, and he said this, right? And I want people to say that. I want people, and I will show a video of him saying it. He said that just because, y'all know how he talked, right? But he was just saying, just because you get a award for a grant don't mean you getting the money right then. Sometimes it takes years. Okay, I'm not going to argue with you on that. But my question is this. When has Albert ever showed a grant award letter? I've been the one showing a grant award letter after he make a post about them getting a grant. I showed a grant award letter. That's what I did. He has never shown a grant award letter. But what he will do is he'll throw an amount of money out of a grant that he's trying to get, or make it perceive. He will present it in a way like he's doing all of this stuff. Right. And I just want to break this down. Right. He made a comment yesterday, and I want to provide facts about it. Right. He tried to make a comment, and I'm going to tell you why it was talking about me. Right. He made a comment yesterday during the Martin Luther King breakfast, and his comment was, I went to law school, and I came back home. I ain't go to New York. I'm finna show y'all something. Y'all see this right here? Fort Drum, New York. That's where I lived at before I moved down to Georgia. I ain't go to New York. I ain't go to all these other places. So I went to New York because that's what you do when you're in the military. You follow orders. I know you have no clue about what it's like to actually serve somebody else and not be self-serving, but that's what selfless service is. That's what sacrifice look like. That's what living an honorable life and a life of integrity is. Right? That's what that is. That's what actually earning something and something not being given to you. Right? You actually earned it. I never had to rob or steal or try to rob somebody out of the things that I've earned. The things that I've earned, I earn on my own merit. Since we want to have a conversation, let's have a conversation. Mr. Albert Fitzgerald Turner, since you love to take shots at my military career, let me lay this thing out for you. Right? The average person that enlists in the military retire as a sergeant first class after 20 years. Little Albert, right? I want to let you know this, right? I enlisted in the United States Army as a private, as an E1. I went from private E1 to staff sergeant in 4 years and 4 months. That's exceptional. I went from private to sergeant first class. That means I went from an E1. I got promoted 6 times in 8 years. Then I was one of 200 out of 2,000 people selected for the Army Green and Gold program, in which I was selected to go, and the Army paid me for 2 years to go back to school, right? And I was a full-time student for 2 years, and I got commissioned under the Army Green and Gold program, where I commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Quartermaster Corps. Then after that, Albert, I matriculated up until I made the rank that I'm in right now as a major, right? I know you don't understand military ranks because you keep trying to throw shots, but I'm just educating you so you can understand that. Right. And not only that, though, before I decided to say that my time has come to the end, because I've been serving the military for 26 years now. Right. Because it's time to do something else. Before then, Albert is a thing called Human Resource Command, right? And what they do is we have a true order of merit list, or OML, right? That they rack and stack you against your peers. And these are people that commission with you in your year group. The year that you commission, these people you are ranked against. And these are people who are from all over. These are people that went to Ivy League schools, went to West Point, went to VMI, the Citadel, all of these different schools, right? And in my branch, the branch that I'm in as a logistician, right, there was roughly 297 people that was in the Army. That was my job as a logistician, as a 90 Alpha. It was 297 of them. Albert, I was number 3 out of 297. So when you like to take shots and when you try to undermine certain people and you try to make things about you, you need to Google people, man. You need to really realize who you're talking to and who you're dealing with. Because, see, you're so used to dealing with people who just can't stand on their own 2 feet or who want something from you. I don't want nothing from you. And the funny thing is, it's driving you crazy. It's driving you crazy because you can't control me. Because you ain't and I'm speaking to the people, and I want the people to understand this is his tactics. Albert has used these tactics for so long. Albert loved to try to go get some people and give certain people family members jobs. And the reason why he gives family members jobs is that's his way of using the county government to give people jobs to buy loyalty from their families. Because those people may have difficulties getting jobs in other places. And I'm not against giving people jobs. That's not what I'm saying. But is he really doing it because he care about the people? I guarantee you this. If y'all go back and look, the people that are getting jobs, they're in his district. Or they got family in his district in some way that he can connect it. All right, Travis said I'm going in and out. I don't know. I don't know nothing about that. But I do want to just say this, right? I say that because those are tactics that he continue to use. And like trying to have people out there right now, that's a scramble, right? I'm just being honest with you. There's no way. And I go back, matter of fact, I'm going back right now. I'm going on my page. And I'm going on my page and I'm finna show you guys something. Going on my page. Going on my page, and here it go. On December the 7th, on a post that was made under the title, Promises Made, Promises Not Kept. Now, this picture right here, I want y'all to see this, right? This picture right here is Albert Turner in 2015, right? In 2015. Now, I just want y'all to see this. So people can see what I'm talking about. Going right here. Y'all see what that said? 10 years ago. 10 years ago. 10 years ago, Albert promised the center would be funded, though I guess he was trying to say through the USDA Rural Development, ADECA, and the Delta Regional Commission with a price tag of $1.2 million. The funds would come from a grant and a low interest loan spread it over 40 years. Now, y'all see who said that, right? Albert Turner Jr. said that 10 years ago, promising about getting grants and loans and $1.2 million, right? And y'all look. Y'all that look familiar, right? That's the Barnett King Center that still look the same today. Right? And this was to propose when he was talking about this was supposed to be the Barack Obama Wellness and Fitness Center. You think I'm lying? Let's go up here. Let's look. Right? And this is what I said. For more than 10 years, people have talked about plans and money to fix up the old National Guard Army in Marion. The building was supposed to become the Barack Obama Wellness and Fitness Center in 2015. Later in 2025, it was talked about becoming a community center. However, there is no clear evidence that any work has actually been completed. Right. And I go back to it. Y'all think I'm lying? Let's go to Albert page, to that link. Look, here it go. Y'all see this date, right? The 12th of August, 2015. Secretary of Agriculture, Tom Vilsack, looks over plans of the proposal for the Barack Obama Wellness and Fitness Center. You know, Albert making them false promises like he making everything happen. That was back in 2015. Right? Watch this. On September the 16th, 2022, Perry County Commissioner Albert Fitzgerald Turner said that the city of Marion decided to stop the lawsuits against the Perry County Commission. And in the lawsuit, look what Albert said, right? The city government of Marion is dysfunctional. The regular session of the government are spotty at best. When was the last Marion City Council meeting? When was the last budget passed and published by the city? When was the last financial audit published? Why did the city spend thousands of dollars on an unusable in-house audit that everyone knew would show the total dysfunction of Marion? Now all of a sudden they screaming kumbaya and unity, right? Man, y'all better not fall for that banana in the tailpipe. Tell y'all this, matter of fact, let's keep reading so you can see what he said. He also said the entire town knows Marion cannot fix their streets, water, and sewage. Hire a police force beyond 3, collect this garbage consistently, or do anything else that taxpayers expect for a government from its government. It's funny that he say that when people have the same concerns about the county, but that's a whole nother discussion. But let's go back and look at it. Now let's look at this. Let's look at when he said it. Because y'all see, look. Now I say it's cool when he do it, but it's a problem when I do it. See, when he said yesterday that the naysayers are trying to take the hope of the people and cause division. Now, what was he doing on here? Right? Because all of this was him just offering his opinion. But this on the 16th of September, this is what Albert said. Dexter Hinton or his handlers are convinced that the Marion City Council is not part of the city of Marion, and that the position of mayor can dictate the actions of the city of Marion without council approval. That's what he said on here. Right? And everybody wondering why I always use his picture. Because look what he did. He used people pictures. It's cool when he do it, right? But it's a problem when I do it. But back to here. Let's fast forward. In September 29, 2022, Perry County Commissioner Albert Fitzgerald Turner, he announced that Perry County would be receiving $130,000 for Phase 1 electrical renovation project at the Old National Guard Army. Let's go to that. I just like to show receipts. Now, he announced that they're getting this money. Now, y'all see him announcing it? Now, it's funny that he get up yesterday at the Martin Luther King thing and said, just because you get a award letter don't mean you get the money. Sometimes it take years. That's what he got up and said. So if it take years, then why do you announce that in 2022 that you got $130,000 for Phase 1 for the Old National Guard Army? Why would you announce that? Right? And I'm going to show y'all the hypocrisy, his own hypocrisy. Because this is the funny thing. Let's fast forward. Go on. Back to March 2023, Perry County Commission Chairman Albert Turner announced plans to name the Old National Guard Army to 2 distinguished women, Inez Barnett and Coretta Scott King. He announced that Perry County would be one of 6 counties to receive a slice of $10 million allocated by the Disaster Relief Supplemental Appropriation Act of 2022. He said Alabama Department of Economic and Community Affairs, ADECA, would manage the funds. There is no record of any grant funding being awarded to Perry County to this time. And as you can go here, you click on here and you click on the actual funded list from ADECA. It tells you all the funding for 2022 for small cities, right? And as you can go down, it tells you in the counties, And you see what the activities, what they funded for, and it tells you the amount here and the amount awarded, the amount requested and the amount awarded. So this is, they say total funds available was $6 million. Now here, I'm going back. I'm looking down. As y'all see, there's no Marion or Perry County. But all these other places, they get money. Look at that. Bibb County got for sewage, $500,000. They got that. You know how they was able to get that? They actually had their financial dealings is in good order. Right? Let me scroll down here. Let me see what we see here. Nope. We got Lowndes County with Moses for streets. They got $400,000 for streets. And y'all see, this is what I want people to understand. There's a lot of grant funding available that a lot of towns take advantage of. As you see, Grove Hill in Clark County, they took advantage. They got a street for $400,000. There's grants were requested. And as you see here, just because you requested an amount, that don't mean you automatically get it. But that shows that their leadership are actually fighting. But over here, you don't see anything with Perry County. Let me go to the last one. You see nothing with Perry County. Oh, folks getting grants for water? What? And I want people to just see this, right? And then here, let me click on this one. This is why I provide links, right? This is the ADECA. Y'all see it? Alabama Department of Economic and Community Affairs, right? They have a list, and they tell you the list of, and as you scroll down, the caper, all of these show you the list of all of the grants that they award by the year. And you can click on this, and it shows you who get what award, right? Why is this important? Because now you can go by and verify, because Albert don't want people to know this. He just want to throw numbers out there. And this is what he does. This is a tactic that he does. He announced that Perry County will be one of 6 counties to receive a slice of $10 million. He ain't going to tell y'all how much Perry County get. You know why? Because they ain't get nothing. I just want to give the perception that is being done. Right? So why would you get up there yesterday in an attempt to throw shade? What you did was show how ignorant you are. Because why, if you are not going to receive the money, then why announce that you're going to get the money? Why not just wait till you get the money? You see how simple that is? Or just say, hey, we've been awarded this amount. We can receive the fund within the next 6 to 24 months. But while we're doing that, we already have our estimates for this work. We can put the bid out. Right. And we can just do the bid and do all the groundwork. So as we waiting on it, we know, boom, we get that money in and we can do it. Y'all see how simple that is? It's not hard. Right. But and then watch this. Here we go. Lastly, on November the 17th, Perry County Commissioner Albert Turner announced that his close relationship with Representative Terry Sewell had resulted in Perry County being awarded $500,000 to repair the old National Guard Army, now renamed the Barnett King Center, to create a much needed community center. Now, y'all saw the difference was 2015. If I scroll up here, August 12, 2015. And if I scroll down here, November 17, 2025. That's 10-year difference. He promising money, right? Right. And like I said here, I sincerely hope that after 10 years of promises, the Barnett King Center finally receives the work that Albert Turner Jr. Has promised for over a decade. Right. And I just want people to see that. I want people to see that. And while he was commenting yesterday, there was some people clapping at the event. And I'm sitting there like, you know, why lie to the people? You see how simple it is just to tell the truth? What did you do with that money? Listen, man, y'all, listen. Here we go. On the 2nd of January, that morning, what really happened to the $1,930,000 in COVID funding, right? I want y'all to see this. I showed y'all before last time. This was the list that the American Rescue Fund's transaction and obligation that he had for the county, right? Down here, y'all see this? The Barnett King Center, he had allocated $134,235. This is from COVID money. If you go out there today, has any work been done out there at that center? And he talked about in a joking way with the Black Belt Foundation, talk about, when we need money to fix the Barnett King Center, we gonna get some money. You already had you earmarked $134,000 back in 2022 to do something. Why didn't you do it? Why the windows still busting out? Why the paint falling off? Why is there still mold down there where you lied and said that there's no mold down there? I just want people, man, listen, I want people to sit down there and think about it, right? Right. And got media down there right now. I tell you, man, that whole stuff, man, look, either you is or you ain't. What they say, either you is or you ain't. And I know I'm using incorrect English, right? But I'm proving a point. And the point that I'm proving is, right, it's not hard to be a person of your word if you're committed to it. It's not. When you're used to scheming and being low down and conniving and being manipulative, it can become difficult because you don't realize, the importance of standing on your word and the words that you speak. But the reason why I say that is because I said some things on here, right? I said that if somebody presents me with information that I misspoken, that I would come back on here and I would be as loud as I was holding people to account and show that I was misspoken. And I've done that. Somebody provided me some information on last Thursday about something that I misspoke about the $60,000, that I made the assumption that it was speaking on $6,000 being spent on that building, but it was $60,000 being spent on the temporary building that they used in 2024 election. And I came on live and I talked about it. Right. But then but when we start talking about all of this stuff, right, I made a promise that I was gonna the Bobcat Challenge. I put that out about somebody being awarded $100 who came up with a dance. Right. And the young man did it. I saw the video and he was the only one to submit a video. So he won. And I gave him $100. Right? Because that's what I said. I said that I was going to purchase a sound system for the city of Uniontown, for them to utilize sound system with wireless mics so the city of Uniontown can utilize that while they have their city council meeting so that it can enhance the communication and make it better so the community can hear and everybody can hear what is going on in the meeting. So people can have a better understanding, a better shared understanding. I purchased it. It came to me last month. And I drove it to Uniontown this past weekend. And yesterday I posted a picture of me giving that actual sound system to one of the council members because, I was getting ready to leave and there was a schedule. Other members were busy or out of town. So I just wanted to make sure that the city got it. So I gave it to one of the council members. Like, that's just easy to do when your real intentions is to serve the community instead of you getting something out of it. And it's just so funny, man. Just funny of not funny, but it's really sad. But not only that it's sad, but all of this money that's been promised about that Barnett King Center, right? Where are the contracts for the money that you already allocated for? All of this phase one, you throw all of this stuff. Look, I'm telling you right now, we deal with different things, right? Anytime we do an operations. In operations, we typically, and I'm about to speak military, so some people may understand it, some people may not. Anytime we conduct an operations or anytime there's some planning and we're doing planning for a training event, right? What they like to ask us to do is to do what we call a concept of operations. I want you to do a CONOP. I want you to do a CONOP, and in the CONOP lays out everything. The CONOP lays out what the mission is, what's the key task, what is the plan, how we're going to go with the timeline and all of that, right? And how we break down the concept, what we call the concept of operations. The concept of operations typically is broken down in phases. PHASE, not FAZE. because that's what Albert said. He spelled phase, F-A-Z-E, under one of my posts. But it's P-H-A-Z, P-H-A-S-E. And typically we say phase one. Phase one is planning phase, right? Phase two is preparation phase. Phase three typically is execution phase. And phase four is typically recover phase. And that's how you break down, hey, in phase one, in the planning phase, hey, in phase one, we're going to coordinate, blah, 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 blah. Phase one, we're in, once we do X, Y, and Z. Then we'll transition into phase two. Phase two starts at this point. During phase two, we will do X, Y, and Z. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? Over this period of time from this date to this date, blah, blah, blah. Then we'll transition to execution. Execution will be this date. On this date, this is the timeline we will execute. Hey, everybody will show up at 05 o'clock in the morning. We will draw weapons. I'm just using like this. We go into the range. We'll draw weapons, and we will do our security check, sensitive item check. We check that everybody got their weapons. All right. Then we will, everybody will load their vehicles up. We'll have the vehicles lined up prior to, and we have everybody identify who riding in what vehicles. Once they get in their vehicles, hey, we're gonna move out. We're gonna leave. We're gonna what we call SP. We're gonna take off, leave at this time. Everybody will get a safety briefing prior to do our last checks. We're gonna go from this point, and when we go on this point, we got different checkpoints. So once we leave this gate, we're gonna checkpoint one would be boom. We make a right. We go down, and checkpoint two, we did this, location 3, blah blah blah. Everybody call it in. We talking on the radio. That's how the details, the level of details that you're talking about, the concept of operations, when you're talking about phases. But when you're throwing it to people that aren't used to it, you like to throw it out there so people won't ask you questions. Phase one of the electrical phase. Okay, what company? What's the name of the company? Since you wanted to talk so much yesterday about people asking for receipts, what's the name of the contractor? And how much was the bid for that contract? Because if it was over $30,000, that should have been an open bid. That's according to Alabama contracting law. Because they don't fall up under professional services, that you don't have to do an open bid. You see what I'm saying? Like I tell you, man, we have blindly trusted so many of these elected officials for so long, instead of sitting there and asking ourselves, man, what's going on? What's going on? And I would tell y'all, man, some of these practices that people say, some of these practices that I've heard about with contracts and how they do contracts in Perry County, you know, they typically will overcharge 10% so people can get a little kickback and stuff like that. Like, that's crazy, man. You got people enriching themselves. And Albert said yesterday at the meeting that people said that claimed that he done stole like $200 million. He said, I ain't steal no $200 million. You know, I do have some millions, but I got a couple million, but I ain't steal no 200. Now, my question is, how you make a couple $1 million as in a part-time position that with a stipend of $1,800 a month? And if you're the chairman, you get a little bit more. Okay, say you get $2,400 a month. How you doing it? That's below the poverty line. You make less than the medium household income in Perry County, but you got millions. I'm curious to how you did that. Just curious. You know, is it alleged that you used to get the money? That it's alleged that Albert used to show up over there at Green Track with briefcase and leave with money in it. That was back before Green Track shut down. See, all of this stuff, man. All of this stuff, man. Like, that's crazy, man, from an elected official. And it's called political grifting. Matter of fact, hold on. Where is it? Oh, here you go. I'm going back to my page. And on December the 31st, is political grifting, using public office for private gain, favoritism, or self-promotion going on in your county and city government, right? And this right here goes down on what political grifting, what grifting looks like, right? What is grifting? And we scream from the mountaintop that we talk about that for at the national level. We scream from the mountaintop about how politicians use public office to get rich, to enrich themselves. But we've been having it going on in Perry County for so long. We've been having it going on in the Black Belt for so long. For so long. You know, the thing nobody's saying, and we are in, and when we start looking at the Black Belt, right? When we start looking at the Black Belt, we have people who whole lives, their whole livelihood has been a public servant. And we look at those salaries, many of those salaries are very low paying salaries. Now, I'm not saying these people aren't smart with money, but it raised concerns of like, where these people getting this money from and having multiple houses? Multiple houses. But you got a job that you making less than $25,000 a year. That's your job. But you got other businesses, right? Allegedly got other businesses and other things going. But then when you look at those businesses, okay, what business are you actually getting that's outside of something being connected to politics? And the only thing they do with politics is they share their campaign money. And it's other thing, I'm gonna show everybody too how you can go and you can start looking up. And then you start to realize like, the math ain't mathing. And then what you also can see is with these campaign contributions, you can see that a lot of these, Albert do it more than anybody, but these people give themselves loans from their campaign funds. They give themselves loans from their campaign funds. Because people don't let people fool you. They have to abide by law to report stuff. They just wish people don't really find out and tell people. But as everybody can see, I got time today. I got time. And I will show people. And I will show people how they can go find it. As a matter of fact, hold up. While we on, let me go back here. What we're on, and yeah. So here, y'all can go to followthemoney.org, right? Click on followthemoney.org. Right, and then here on followthemoney.org, you can go click on the great state of Alabama. And it shows this gives you a breakdown on it follows the campaign contributions, right? So let me see here. When I go up here, let me go. Now, when I clicked in, right? When I clicked in Albert Turner, you got a lot. You got a lot of Albert Turners and an Albert Turner Jr. So this right here, you got Albert, you see Albert Fitzgerald Turner, Albert F. So I'm gonna click on good old Albert F. Right? And it shows you the money that Albert Fitzgerald Turner has given. Now, in the sense of transparency, let me see if I'm in here. Uh-oh. All right, so let me go here. Candidates. Oh. General search. Contributor. Lobbyist. Oh, Albert Fitzgerald Turner as a lobbyist. Let me see. To 3 different filers. Okay. And in this, let me go, yeah. You can export the data. Given trends. It tells you given trends. It tells you who won and who lost. The records, what they give to. And let me see the incumbent. This information is acting up right now. But this website, you can go in and you can find information. Transparency.org is another one where you can just type in people's names and it shows you, and even also the Secretary of State page. And I will go live and show people about how they can find people information, and to tell you, as a matter of fact, if you go look up my sister Portia, it'll show when she ran for office when she ran for state senator and when she ran for mayor. All of her financial information is on there, and you can see how much people donated to her, who donated to her, and you see I made a donation to my sister Portia campaign during the time she ran. But the reason why I show people this because it lays things out, and that's public information. And the reason why they don't want people to know about it because they don't want people to be able to understand and ask questions and get and find certain stuff. That's why I share the information that I share, right? But going back to what I talked about earlier in reference to illegal gaming, right? It's just some things seems very suspicious in Perry County, very suspicious. ATMs in those locations. Not only ATM in those locations, but activities as far as with stuff being moved out of there this week. I mean, right after the post being made, why are we moving stuff? And then all of a sudden, what is real suspicious is the building burning down. The building burning down. So that just, those are the things that are just raise questions for me. But besides that, I mean, the people, you make the determination for yourself. I will continue to raise awareness. I will continue to share information as I come upon information. And I will continue to advocate for change, right? Accountability. And one thing I want to say is this before I get off. When did accountability become hate? When did accountability become divisive? When did it? When is presenting facts and asking questions from information that was provided by somebody? Hey, when is it negative? Yeah, y'all see, you see what I'm saying? It'll be one thing if I'm talking personal about somebody. It'd be one thing if spreading lies about people. It'll be one thing if, things are personal in nature, if I'm spreading misinformation or I'm spreading rumors, right? But information that people are talking about anyway, if I can provide some information and factual information with a date time group that can be referenced, then, and it's shared, how is that negative? You see what I'm saying? Like, if we got an elected official who has ATMs in illegal gaming locations and we bring that up and we talk about it, why are people upset about trying to say that that's negative? I'm just trying to understand that logically. Right? But then when those same people get upset and then they try to fire people without merit, or they do things to hold over people and get upset and hold grudges against people and really mess with people's livelihoods. Nobody says nothing about that. Nobody says nothing about that. Nobody mentions a peep about it. But as soon as somebody come and they ask a question and they provide information of what somebody said, hey, you said on this date that we got this amount of money to fix this. Why is this not done? Why 3 years later nothing has happened? Then all of a sudden that's negative. All of a sudden that's trying to take people hope. Y'all, I just want people to see I want people to see the see the tactics. And give me 1 second, because yeah. Let's go here. Since we live, I want to share. Here we go. Yes, sir. Where is it at? All right. Since we live, I want y'all to hear something. Here we go.
God, fight your battle, be still. God, fight, be still. Come on, put your hands together. God, fight your battle if you just keep still.
I just want y'all to listen. Just listen. This was at the breakfast yesterday. So y'all can hear.
We celebrate this King Day. It's only fitting that on King Day, unity prevails. When we think about Marion and Perry County, we too small to be divided. We have to work together. That's not what the naysayers want, but that's what we need. And that's what I'm going to provide, working together. That goes to whatever is needed. As long as I'm the chairman of the Perry County Commission, City of Marion, City of Uniontown will have a big brother. To be able to walk together, the Perry County Board of Education will have a big brother. To be able to bridge those gaps that those governments may have. That's our responsibility, to work together. But it's those who want to do something to you. They want to drive you to a point where you have no hope. That's their mission. If they can kill your hope, they can kill your spirit. We're not going to allow those naysayers to kill our hope. Hope is optimistic. You're optimistic when you're hoping. You're pulling. And if they can ever get you to stop believing and hoping that Marion and Perry County has yet to reach its full potential, they haven't. You don't hear a whole lot of it. If you hadn't heard it, you hear a whole lot of negative stuff. They don't know what they're talking about. They're talking. Last week we was in Montgomery, Alabama. Got a grant letter in 2021. Saturday Zeta hurricane happened in 2020. Do you think we walking around with $10 million in our pocket right now? That's like they sent you a letter saying you're going to get it. I mean, you had it. And that's the foolishness that they're trying to get you to understand. They think you don't have enough sense to know that just because you get a letter saying you've been awarded a grant, that the money don't come with the letter.
All right.
Y'all see what I'm saying? We're going to keep going, but my point is, as I clearly shown, why would you announce that you got it then? Y'all see what I was saying? I was sitting right in there, and all of these naysayers and all of this stuff, who's been the only one talking about grants and grant award letter and all this, but we're going to keep this going.
You sit there months and months and years and years. From 2021 when they sent the letter saying you got $10 million to 2026, and they just told us the other week you may get the money in February. These are the kinds of things that if you don't listen, you don't understand, they'll kill your hope and believe that Dexter running around with $20 million in his pocket and I'm running around offer 200 million. I got some millions, but I ain't got 200.
Now, y'all heard him say that right there, right? Now, I clearly showed earlier, he's saying $10 million. In the post that he made, he said there are one of six counties that will be awarded part of the 10 million. But do y'all see the misleading things that he's doing right here? I just want people to clearly see it. It made my stomach hurt yesterday at just the lies and the deceit, right? And he playing on the emotional cores of the people. Like somebody asking legitimate questions of the lies and information that he put out. Like they're trying to divide the people and kill the people hope. But he ain't saying nothing about the 10 years of the lies or the decades of lies that he said. Let's keep watching.
And I didn't give them from stealing. We gotta understand. You don't let people define people that you know. You know me. I didn't leave and go to New York. I didn't leave to go this place and that place. I stayed right here. I went to law school in Texas and came right on back.
Do y'all see what I'm saying now? I hope y'all clearly see what I'm talking about. I was in New York because the Army told me, the United States government told me that's what I was stationed at. But I just want people to see, this is at a Dr. Martin Luther King birthday celebration and unity breakfast. And this is the buffoonery that Albert Turner putting out. And the funny thing is, people know who he is. Only thing I'm doing is showing him who he is. And as a narcissist, he can't stand it. Let's just keep watching.
If you went to exclusive, came right on back. We've been in the trenches with you. And I want you all to know this as I sit down. That if you ever lose hope, you've lost the real possibility of changing the situation. They don't want you to believe that you got hope that we're going to have grants, water, roads, jobs. Lynn told me the other day, I see you over there at the NWA Jessup finna get some jobs, but we don't want them kind of jobs. You told me you want jobs. We bring jobs, you don't want them jobs. Yeah. You get grants and you I want receipt. Well, you show them the courthouse, $1 million we spend in the courthouse, $1 million we spend out there on the highway department, $1 million they go to Selma on that road from Marion to Selma, 45 to Albert Turner, Jimmy Jackson. Oh, that's routine. You can't win for losing. But we're going to win anyway. Because we got hope. And when you have hope, that means you believe. And if you believe in the same man I believe in, and this God Almighty, you got a chance. He holds our future. On this king that keep hope alive. Thank you.
Hope that made y'all as sick as it made me hearing that yesterday live. Hearing that actually live, to hear that, right? This is from somebody who is, who's been in a county commissioner in Perry County for 25 years. What hope do we still need to have about what you're doing? You've been in the seat for 25 years. What hope are you talking about? Like, that's what I'm saying. Dexter been the mayor since November of 2016. Where we start talking about with hope? There ain't no hope when you already been there and I see your track record and your track record is flawed. That's not hope. You selling people wolf tickets. The people are looking at the infrastructure. They see that it hadn't improved. The people are the ones going without water, and you talking about somebody asking real questions about the actions of the people while they in. And did y'all hear about people asking for receipts? He said multi-million dollars. How many millions have been spent on roads around here? And I'm talking to the people in Perry County. That's what I'm talking to you. See, all of that stuff is just talk. It's flapping gums. No receipts, no bids, no contracts, no nothing people can see. But he self-proclaimed he got a couple million. I just want people to see for themselves, man. Like, I'm being honest with you. When you show people their own words and people can see for themselves, right? Everything, oh, he divisive. He just trying to steal your, how am I trying to steal hope? I'm just understanding that. I just want to understand that. How am I showing people what people are saying and have done? How is that trying to steal people hope? When I am showing awareness, like for example, tomorrow in Marion, Alabama is their extension. They got another extension from the A-Down money. They got another extension. And that one put out to the public. But tomorrow is the deadline for them to turn that stuff back in. Do you think they're going to turn it in? And this right here is for them to get over another $4 million over the 2-point-some million they done already got to redo the water system. Why you, and they've known this requirement was due since October 2023. It's January 2026 and they still hadn't gotten it done. What are you talking about with hope? When the same people that he's defending are the ones that destroying the hope. Y'all see that whole, I ain't had to go to New York because you ain't never joined the military. Since you want to take shots, how many times you took the bar? How many times you passed the bar? Albert, since you love to take shots in my military career, right? Since you went to law school and came back home, why haven't you practiced law in the state of Alabama? Since you got a JD degree. Because you have to pass the bar in order to practice law. And from what I told, he hasn't passed the bar yet. So like I just want people to sit down and everybody, you saw for yourself the words that were said. That was his word at a Dr. Martin Luther King birthday and unity celebration. Y'all already seen what I said, how he talked about Dexter like a dog. He talked about Ron Miller like a dog. The matter of fact, back in March of last year, Albert called the news station to come in and talk about how Marion wasn't filling out the paperwork for jail, for inmates to come to the county jail. And they work right down the same street. Less than a block away from each other. But you call the news crew in on the city then, but now all of a sudden you about unity and they got a big brother. The only reason why Albert is saying that is because he helped them get elected and he want them to kiss their hand. That's what the stuff that he do. He only does things for people that he feel like that he can tell them what to do to get what he wants. That's the type of person he is. You know, so at the end of the day, y'all saw for your own self, right? I don't know why it's kind of weird that my military service bothered him so much. Because I think, I know, you know, if you go active duty, it's a thing called military orders where they give you assignment and the assignment tell you where you go. Right? There's no duty station in Perry County, Alabama. There's no duty station in Perry County, Alabama. So there's no way I could be stationed at home. And then there's no way you could be stationed somewhere for like 20 years either. Unless you're at a place like Fort Bragg or Fort Hood and it's so big where you just go unit hop. But I just want people to think about that, right? Just have people to sit down and think about it. Anybody that stand up to Albert hold grudges with, he does everything within his power to try to undermine them. He does a lot of crazy stuff, shiesty stuff. And but he said people that know him. Well, you know what's the funny thing? It'll be one thing if I'm just talking stuff. But everything that I say about Albert Turner, I'm showing his words of what he said. So what's your argument? I'm showing the words you said. I'm showing your words on this date. You said this. This is wrong according to this. As y'all saw when I talked about he claiming that they got grants and grants were going to be awarded. When I went to the year for the grants for the DECA, it showed they ain't get no grants. You know why? Because most of those grants are tied to cities and municipalities. That means that cities, and there's 8 different classes in the state of Alabama. But cities, towns, and counties, most of those grants are tied with them having an audit and them being in good financial standing. That's why Uniontown hadn't gotten in it in a while. That's why Marion hadn't gotten in a while. Now, the Perry County entities that get it, the Perry County Water Board gets grants. You know why? Because they're in good standings. They do audits. County Commission, not so much. And I've already shown that, and I can easily show that. But last thing, and I know I went a little bit longer today, but last thing I want to bring up. Albert Turner didn't come straight home from law school. Albert Turner worked for ADECA. He worked for ADECA. Now, since Albert wanted to try to push things out about a suggestion that my father got ran out of Uniontown, Albert, why you ain't working with ADECA anymore? That's a question I want that the people want to know. Why didn't you stay working at ADECA? And then at ADECA, Albert said that he was over the department that gave out grants to rural areas. So if he had all of that inside information, why isn't Perry County benefiting from his inside information? Since he said he was over the area that gave rural area grants, with Perry County being poor in rural area, then why ain't Perry County entities and Perry counties, the cities and the counties in it are just lined up with leveraging those grant opportunities to make the community better for infrastructure? Just wonder why. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? But why, Albert? Why did you have to leave ADECA? Why did you have to leave ADECA, Albert? Right, since you said you came straight home from law school, the facts are the facts. You worked at ADECA before. And I would tell people this: accountability and transparency is no longer optional. Just let people know. There's a lot of things that people did before and got away with. Them days are over with. Those days are over with. You know, and you know, when you heard that, I just want people to hear that, right? It plays on the emotional chords of those who want to feel like somebody's taking something from them instead of looking at the goddamn boogeyman that's right there in your face the whole time. Why is somebody 61 years old still fighting so hard to be in a part-time position? And you know what's funny? As a commissioner, you ain't got to be the chairman. The chairman is not the chairman is somebody, all of those commissioners have a same equal vote. Chairman don't have a high vote. So, you know, and I'm telling you, anybody, I'll tell you, this is just me. This is me speaking. I'm speaking right now. Anybody that I would see Albert Turner supporting to run for office, me personally, I would stay far away from it. Because he got something in it for himself. He's not doing it just because he care about the people. He's doing it because he probably feel he can control them people and he can get them to vote and do whatever he want to do. That's the type of person he is. And he said people know him. The community knows him. You know, community knows him. And, you know, when you come back and you ask questions and they call you outside and all this stuff and all this crazy stuff, man, it is what it is. You know, I sleep good every day, treat people right, and we'll continue to advocate for what's right for Perry County. But hey, them questions that I have, these are the questions, and these are the questions that I want. Mac G asked a question I just saw. He said, can grant funding be used beyond the FY receive? Most times when you're dealing with grant funding, they have a window in which you have to use it up. So typically it'll give you like a 5-year window. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's that's that. But then, you know, the other thing is stop lying about all this grant money that you're getting that the county is not getting. The county is not getting. Like, it's crazy, man. This thing it's just crazy. Just lie after lie, man. Like it's crazy. It's crazy, man. And the sad thing, well, I ain't gonna say. First of all, I'm not worried about people that continue to support that foolishness. I think a lot of people are realizing that they have been provided and deceived, and been provided a lot of misinformation for years. Those are the people that I commend. Those are the people that I'm sharing the information for, so the people can wake up. I predict that there's going to be an ungodly amount of absentee ballots, right? That's the reason why Perry County has more people on the roll than they have. Perry County got more people registered to vote than they have citizens in the county. And it's alleged that dead people was voting. That has been alleged. I heard that before. And not only that, dead people voting, but people say they start to see a lot of cars that come back in town from out of county tags that come in during voting season. And that's what happened. Oh, and you're gonna see large campaign contributions, probably from Bobby Singleton, given to the Emerson Company or the Perry County Civic League campaign funds coming in during that time, because a lot of money is going to come in, because that's how Albert said he going to insert himself and his resources into influencing the election, like he did during the Marion election and the Uniontown election, like he did in his failed attempt to get Dario Melton as the state senator. Right. So, and as I showed everybody in 2022, Bobby Singleton donated $75,000 from his campaign fund into entities that Albert Turner is associated with: the Perry County Civic League, the Emerson Group, and the Emerson. Well, that's a whole nother thing, because the Emerson Group doesn't belong to Albert, but the address they use belong to Albert Turner Enterprises. But then the Emerson Company is Albert's company. And he donated a total of $75,000 in 2022. Most of it was during the primary election when Dario Melton, the former mayor of Selma, was running against Robert Stewart for the state senate race. And it's gonna be the same thing. Y'all think I'm joking? And then when Albert loses, he's gonna have 1,500 lawsuits. He's gonna claim that the voting wasn't done right. I'm just telling you. But he ain't gonna come back and say, hey, this is what he did. Y'all think I'm joking? Watch. Albert's desperate. He's scared. That's why y'all see him doing all this crazy stuff. And y'all watch this. Y'all think I'm lying. I'm about to show y'all something. Let me show you what accountability do. I'm showing y'all what accountability do. This is what accountability does. If you go to Albert's page, the commissioner page, right? Y'all know Albert used to always put out a lot of information, right? This is from yesterday. Talk about Dr. Martin Luther King, picture that he took with some individuals. Then he reshared this. I guess this is like his endorsement of Donald Nichols, who sit on the Perry County school board. There's some controversy behind that. That's all I would say on that. He said there was a reprint from Bambi Hogel on Donald Nichols' campaign. And 2 days ago, he shared a picture of his father, sitting at the feet of Dr. Martin Luther King. And then 3 days ago, he talked about the Zeta Salad Storm numbers, right? And he talking about somebody endorsing him, right? But you don't see, and that was just a reminder about the event that they had yesterday, but you don't see a lot of those claims that he did before. This one, he's talking about people to reevaluate. And now this is a good one. Your Social Security supplement and SSI, they need to redo those forms. But you don't see happy birthday, but you don't see another thing for his birthday, but you don't see all of the stuff that you saw before, right? Right. He put that up there, but you don't see that stuff. The reason why is he knows when he puts something out, somebody gonna fact check him. And that'll be me. That'll be me. So if you're gonna put something out, put the truth out there. And it's hard when you're used to lying. You'll throw anything out there, right? Anything. So man, you guys have a great day. I know I went a little bit longer today. Hey man, go check out a lot of these videos be posted on the lives that will be posted on YouTube on Educate to Elevate 334. Go and subscribe. That's be an online repository because you know when you go live, they delete them in 30 days. So all of this stuff, all these videos and everything. Matter of fact, I just got a notification that I got a video that'll be coming up for deletion. So I'll be downloading that one and uploading that one to Educate to Elevate 334. Educate to Elevate, Educate the number 2 Elevate 334 and YouTube. That's where that is where a lot of these videos, most of these videos will be going. Man, I hope you guys have a great and wonderful day, and definitely will talk to you guys later. All right, stay blessed.